Para ser sincero, tengo sentimientos encontrados. Por un lado, me motiva mucho cada vez que llego a este lugar y a este momento en el cual puedo desarrollar mi creatividad para contar una nueva historia. Por otro lado, sé que esta vez se siente diferente y hasta desafiante, porque se trata de un proyecto sobre la vida y al mismo tiempo sobre las ganas de mucha gente de no querer vivir más. Cuando acepté producir esta serie, mi mente se llenó de preguntas existenciales. Si fuimos creados para amar la vida, ¿por qué llegamos al límite de no querer vivir más?
Sí, se te vas a tirar, quédate tranquilo.
¿De dónde viene ese pensamiento?
Pero estaba llorando el hombre, no sé qué le pasó.
¿Qué experimenta una persona que ya no quiere vivir más?
I remember it was just too much for me, and one day I said I will do it. So I took the knife, I went out, and then it was so crazy because it was so many years ago.
¿Qué sucede en el interior de una persona para que vea a la muerte como la única salida?
It's been 3 years and 1 month since we lost our son Jalen. He took his own life.
¿Cómo continúan con la vida aquellos que perdieron a un ser querido que decidió no querer vivir más? Estas preguntas nos llevaron por muchos países para conversar con quienes escuchan a diario numerosas personas que lidian con el dolor y el...
We had an unfortunate situation where this last fall we lost one of our students in one of our schools to suicide.
No ha sido fácil, porque no se trata solo de brindar información, sino también de ser honesto, abierto, sincero, crítico con el pasado, aunque sea duro y difícil de aceptar.
Know that your parents love you. Know that your family loves you. Know that your teachers love you.
Pero aunque parezca muy difícil y aunque sintamos que estamos en un cuarto oscuro y sin luz,
believe it or not, whether you feel it or not, things will get better.
La esperanza es lo último que se pierde.
Such Hilfe. Es gibt Hilfe. Es gibt Hoffnung.
Please do tell somebody. Express that.
hay esperanza. Hay una entrada de luz que se asoma al final de ese túnel que estás transitando. Y sí, es posible enamorarse de la vida. Otra vez.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank you for coming.
Get the word out.
How do I feel? That's hard to explain. If I had to take a photo or paint a picture of how I feel, it would be like a room or a tunnel with no windows and no way out.
It's here. It's you. Right here. Good. Come. This is your place.
When it comes down to talking about suicide, we're really talking about pain. That people feel that they're overwhelmed and they want the pain to end. When it feels hopeless, or a sense of hopelessness, which is often linked to suicide, that it feels like this pain will not end.
Just a deep sense of sadness that somebody has, for whatever reason, gotten into such a dark place that they can't get out of it, can't escape.
Básicamente es una desesperación de estar transitando hace mucho tiempo un sufrimiento psicológico, y es ahí donde aparece el deseo, la necesidad de querer poder terminar con ese sufrimiento. Generalmente las personas no es que no desean vivir, sino que lo que están pensando es en encontrar una manera de frenar con esse dolor tão intenso.
A palavra-chave, então, em suicídio não é morte. A palavra-chave é dor psíquica, sofrimento psíquico.
Es una persona que está en sufrimiento. Y el sufrimiento emocional muchas veces nos saca de la posibilidad de razonar sobre la parte emotiva. Entonces las emociones aumentan mucho y baja nuestra posibilidad de racionar lo que estamos pensando, lo que estamos sintiendo. Cuando nuestras emociones suben mucho y gobiernan nuestra mente, la desesperanza, la desesperación ocupa el lugar de la esperanza y de la posibilidad de resolver las cosas.
Usually suicide isn't necessarily someone seeking out death, for its own sake, but more so feeling unable to stop or escape really overwhelming either physical or psychological pains. So there's a tension between the desire to maintain life, but also to avoid pain. And sometimes those can be out of balance. And for a lot of people, there's this tough combination where they might be feeling like a burden to others. They might be feeling a lot of pain psychologically, emotionally, physically, hopeless that that pain level would ever change or be able to stop.
My story started when I don't remember much how old I've been, but I guess in age of 8, 9 maybe. That was the moment when we never had support from our parents. There was never understanding. And if there were problems, you needed to solve them with your brothers. And it was very difficult because one of my brothers, he just didn't like me. And he always was going after me. And I was afraid to stay in the house many times. So that was the moment when one day I had in my head that, I don't know, probably I saw this from the movies or something, that I will write the letter to my parents and then I will take my life away. I didn't have nobody to help me, so I remember I just accumulate all of those things, and I remember it was just so heavy, and I was just so weak. And I remember I didn't have other option. For me, only in my head, I was like, I can't do this by myself. That was the worst. I couldn't handle those things by myself anymore. And this was the moment when I felt like there is no other option. Yeah.
There's a deep sense of pain to carry within an individual. And people want to shed that pain in some way.
Essentially, they're wiring their brain in a way in which is supporting more of what they don't want, more of the pain, more of the thoughts of suicide, more of the thoughts of life would be better if I weren't here.
I know only one thing, that I was just so weak. inside. I remember like there was no hope.
A pessoa morre por suicídio, porque ela é tão vítima da sua dor. O suicida não quer matar sua vida, ele quer matar a sua dor mental, a sua dor emocional, que para ele beira as raias do insuportável.
Everybody does have that vulnerability, just unfortunately some people have more vulnerability than others.
And I was just so young and I couldn't understand nothing. I just remember I was just afraid and I knew I have no support, no understanding, so that day I just decided to take my life. I went outside and I was so close to do it. And I remember something stopped me. You can't explain this. You can't understand the force which stopped me before doing it. And when this didn't allow me to happen, I remember I came back home. I went to my room and I started to cry.
Todos tenemos como alguna experiencia de dolor físico, pero el dolor psíquico también es una experiencia que muchos a veces intentamos evitar. Pero si hacemos el ejercicio de ponernos un ratito en su lugar, podemos, imaginar que estamos, como en una habitación a oscuras, donde no hay ventanas, no hay puertas, donde hay una sensación como de soledad, de desamparo.
So it's not so much a seeking of death, but more so a seeking to stop or avoid pain and not seeing a different solution.
Normalmente, o que isso diz é: não aguento mais viver da maneira que eu vivo.
A pessoa oscila entre momentos de querer viver e de querer morrer.
Los marcadores son normalmente específicos. ¿tá? Hay cambios muy fuertes en la vida del ser humano. Su aspecto, la forma en que se visten, la forma en que se cuidan, si están siendo cuidadosos con su higiene personal, si se bañan, si no se bañan.
Maybe observing within them increased mood swings or some erratic behaviors, kind of a change from baseline. If there's been any, what I'd call like preparatory steps, where if they had a suicidal plan, that they're making moves towards preparing for that action or preparing for end of life, like giving cherished items away, that can be pretty concerning. In the realm of substance use, if you see a spike up or an increase of that use, that increases the risk for a suicide attempt quite significantly because it can be disinhibiting and cause impulsivity.
Si vemos ese cambio donde drásticamente ya no están motivados, ya no están asistiendo en las actividades sociales como lo hacían antes, eso es como un momento de conectarnos y decir, ¿qué está sucediendo? Veo un cambio en ti, cuéntame o hablar acerca de eso.
Sozialer Rückzug, massiver sozialer Rückzug, überhaupt keine Aktivitäten mehr mit Freunden oder Familie oder so auch planen oder auch im Grunde genommen wirklich Freude daran haben.
Cuando cambia abruptamente, que de repente ser una persona sociable y de repente se aísla, si hace comentarios como de sentirse una carga constantemente, de sentirse inútil, hasta si dice o ha compartido su cansancio de vivir con ese dolor, tenemos que estar atentos.
You know, we see signs that people might be feeling overwhelmed or talking darkly, talking a lot about death or not wanting to be there. Maybe they feel that you might hear them withdrawing from friends and family. They're worrying about things.
E principalmente começa a evoluir para pensamento sobre
planejamento, como eu faria, o que aconteceria, e a pessoa vai se demorando naquilo, aí acho que quando a coisa se torna preocupante.
Sich beschäftigen mit Möglichkeiten, sich zu suizidieren, ob das im Internet ist oder ob das auf andere Art und Weise ist, sich also Mittel zu beschaffen, wie man sich suizidiert. Das fängt bei Tabletten an, das ist der Strick, das ist der Revolver, das sind andere Dinge, ja, die man sich versucht zu besorgen oder versucht zu besorgen.
Conversan mucho sobre la cuestión de la muerte, empiezan a tratar de mandar cartas para personas que hace mucho tiempo que no conversan, que no hablan.
You know, you might hear conversations of where people say that, you know, it'd just be better if I wasn't here anymore. Or they've gone through some major stories of loss. They're not sleeping, eating, some just of the basic needs that they should be taking care of. They're just not taking care of themselves.
Everything feels black and I can't sleep. I just can't sleep. And I have not been sleeping for weeks, Jessica. And I don't even have the energy to get up. I don't even have the energy to do stuff anymore. I don't have the energy to study, to run, to cook, to do anything at all. I'm just empty.
So it's kind of this tunnel vision of I'm stuck in this feeling forever.
Então ele se sente sempre fora do lugar. E isso já é um alerta, né?
A pessoa escreve um bilhete, prepara uma arma, começa a juntar remédio.
¿Aonde puedo comprar una cuerda? ¿Aonde puedo comprar un arma? ¿Qué pasaría si no estoy? Empiezan a tener ese tipo de conversaciones y se generan ciertas dudas en los otros, decir, ¿qué está pasando? ¿Por qué me estás preguntando eso?
They're engaging in, you know, waking up to drinking lots in the morning, or just like using drugs, or participating a lot in just illicit relationships that are not healthy for them at all.
Und zum Schluss ist es so ein bisschen eine, sage ich mal immer, so ein bisschen gespenstige Ruhe. Wenn ein Mensch dann auf einmal sehr ruhig, sehr gelassen.
Então, quando há o planejamento, o risco de suicídio aumenta muito.
Las investigaciones hablan de que las personas que llegan a cometer un acto de suicidio, que llegan a atentar contra su vida, han dado señales, han intentado avisar. Muchas veces algunos han regalado pertenencias, cosas de valor. Por ende, por eso la importancia de esa información que nos permita estar despiertos ante esas señales que podemos identificar.
It had been a while since I drove these streets. This is the area that he was in. So I was driving around, and it's been 3 years and 1 month since we lost our son, Jalen. He took his own life. And it's been difficult. It's been difficult. And so when we got the call, you know, we jumped on the plane and we got over here as fast as we could. Came out here immediately, and again, you know, we had his funeral here in this area, in the California area, at the Redlands Church. And when we got back, we tried to get back to normalization of everything, you know, at least hoping for the kids. But it took a while. My family was struggling to just kind of find our footing. But I found that I couldn't work for almost a year. And during that time, it was a dark time for my family. And even just for me personally as a dad, as everybody was finding their footing, you know, I saw a therapist. Everybody was seeing a counselor. I was hospitalized. I had to get medicine. I was put on medicine just to help, you know, there's a phrase that I learned while I was going through that, but was doing the work. There's a lot of work to be done to sort of climb out of this pit of darkness that you're just seemingly in for a long time.
Mark, based on that experience, what would you say about the warning aspects or signs of someone who is struggling with that?
One of the early signs that you will see is just the change of behavior of your student or your child. I think another thing that we watch for is that if there are events that happen, like a breakup, if they get suspended, if there's these dramatic changes that happen in a family, maybe even a divorce within a family, those kinds of things really impact. I'd say also when students isolate and they're not normally isolators, and so we watch for those signs, and when they really withdraw, you know, those are some signs that, hey, we need to have a conversation.
It was just so much pressure going on and so many difficulties that I was closing myself in the house, and I even didn't want to leave for 1 day, for 1 month, because it was just so difficult for me. And I also didn't understand those things. And when you don't leave and you don't speak and you don't try to talk to the others and you stay with this everything by yourself, that's the most challenging and difficult part.
A gente precisa conhecer o fenômeno do suicídio, falar sobre suicídio, porque o suicídio ainda é um assunto tabu. Não se fala de suicídio nas famílias, não se fala de suicídio nas escolas, não se fala de suicídio no ambiente corporativo, nas empresas, não se fala de suicídio nas igrejas, não se fala de suicídio em lugar nenhum. E, no entanto, as pessoas estão morrendo por suicídio.
If we see something, and we need to be able to be open enough to talk about it. Because if we see someone that was bleeding on the side of the road or sidewalk, or we're going to try to get them to help because we recognize that person's in danger. And that's our response, is to be able to say, even as a parent, when a parent finds themselves, struggling, maybe it's their teenager, or maybe it's a spouse, or maybe it's a coworker, that we need to be able to reach out and to be able to speak openly and directly about what we're seeing, and to be able to say, I care. So being able to ask openly and directly about suicide is a way of saying, I care about you. I want you to know that I'm not afraid to talk about it. and that you can talk to me. I'm a safe person.
Lo primero que tenemos que hacer es escuchar con mucha atención, escuchar sin intentar minimizar. Como a los seres humanos nos cuesta mucho permanecer presentes, ¿no? Con la mirada, con la escucha, cuando alguien está sufriendo. Es como que inmediatamente tendemos a decir, bueno, a minimizar, esto va a pasar, no es para tanto, pero pensá en todo lo otro que tenés. Todo comentario que la persona, en vez de ayudarlos o aliviarnos, lo llena más de culpa, lo llena más de vergüenza, lo hace sentir más solo e incomprendido.
A própria família e comunidade são encarregados de poder resgatar e falar, olha, você vai passar por esse negócio que é angustiante, terrível, mas não vai passar sozinho.
You need to listen to your children. You need to listen what they want to say. You need to listen why they are saying the things they are saying. Maybe they are real problems.
I'm stuck in this loop. Emily, do you have thoughts of, I don't know, giving up? Of not wanting to live anymore? Ending everything?
Pareciera como que les estamos dando una idea y en realidad es todo lo contrario. La persona ya tiene en mente esto y que alguien le pregunte y poder hablar, generalmente ya alivia y puede ser un factor importantísimo a la hora de poder prevenir.
When we start to see those types of behaviors going, we should be alarmed. We should say, hey, what's going on? This doesn't seem like you know, sometimes when people are withdrawing from friends and family, sometimes they're thinking about suicide. Are you thinking about suicide?
I would really encourage someone to kind of ask directly how they're doing and to not be afraid to ask directly about suicidal thoughts as well.
O primeiro passo é ouvir, sem julgar. Porque à medida que a pessoa vai se ouvindo falar, ela também vai se organizando.
Tenderle puentes para poder conectar a esa persona con alguien que lo pueda ayudar, ¿sí? Llamémosle personas que están de alguna manera, como quien dice, capacitadas, sean profesionales, por eso digo, pueden ser, no sé, si está en el colegio, en la facultad, un profesor, si estoy en la iglesia, no sé, un pastor, un líder espiritual. Conectar a esa persona con alguien que pueda como acompanhar a buscar ajuda profissional.
E o vínculo é uma das coisas que pode ajudar uma pessoa a segurar uma crise suicida.
You need to ask what's the problems, what's the difficulties there.
Just asking in any way is going to be more prevention and show more care than not asking at all.
O suicídio ele é multifatorial, portanto, o cuidado, o tratamento, ele tem que ser multidisciplinar e deve inclusive ter a dimensão de fé.
Então você vai ajudar esse paciente a construir essa rede de apoio, um plano de ação para os momentos mais difíceis, que ele vai, né, quando isso vem, porque não é que isso está o tempo todo, às vezes a pessoa está bem, mas de repente vem muito forte. Então o que você vai fazer? É quase que um checklist mesmo.
Temos que ir, ser cuidadosos, conversar, trabajar en la forma de comunicación y proteger. Y en esa protección vamos a necesitar estar todo el tiempo acompañando a esas personas. Vamos a tener que retirar las cosas que pueden lastimarse. Vamos a tener que obviamente acompañarlos a la terapia, al médico y muchas veces inclusive internar esa persona que está para protegerla, para cuidarla y realmente evitar que aconteça uma catástrofe.
A gente tem que ter uma postura compreensiva, mas também uma prontidão para agir, que é o que também falta muitas vezes para um profissional de saúde ou mesmo para um familiar.
E algo que pode ajudar, um recurso que pode ajudar, é ajudar esse paciente a projetar o futuro dele.
There's interventions kind of on the professional side of things in terms of therapies, like cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectic behavioral therapy, interpersonal therapies, and those are all really structured and meant to give support when we're feeling really intense emotional or psychological pain. There also are medication interventions that sometimes are needed for seasons of time to give extra support or correct some of those neurochemical imbalances that might be just making it really hard for someone to think clearly.
Sempre há alguém que nos ama e poderá nos ajudar.
Share your problems. Find somebody you trust and share your problems.
Such Hilfe. Es gibt Hilfe. Es gibt Hoffnung.
When you're struggling in that season, please do tell somebody. Express that.
Buscar ajuda, inclusive profissional, né?
It may not be quick, it won't be perfect, but with love and support, some help along the way, things will improve. In other words, there is a way out.
Reach out. Reach out, please. Be part of a community and journey with those people for a while. It's so important to have that social connection with faith. God cares about you deeply.
Não é sinal de fraqueza. Buscar ajuda é o contrário, é sinal de fortaleza, é sinal que a gente quer guardar e preservar a vida, que é o dom maior que Deus nos deu.
Suppression of your emotions is an obligatory rule on the battlefield in military society.
O maior perigo está naqueles que não comunicam.
If we think about suicide as something that has to remain secret and we can't talk about it, it acts as a poison in the society.
Porque o suicídio ainda é assunto tabu.
In Kenya, 80% of people diagnosed with a mental health issue choose not to even inform their employers about their mental health issue.
The stigma around mental health in general is strong.
The fear that if we talk about it, they'll commit suicide at a greater rate, that's a big myth.
Suicídio não é ato de coragem, suicídio não é covardia.
So most Africans associate suicidality with demon possessions.
Getting help if you're struggling with depression or anxiety or something, that there's a sense of weakness.
Para uma pessoa morrer por suicídio, ela tem que se transformar em assassino de si próprio. Y eso no es fácil.
Y decimos que las personas que tienen fe no pueden vivir esto, estamos también negando la posibilidad de que estas personas se puedan enfermar.
No, si sos cristiano no puedes estar depresivo. ¿Cómo te vas a querer matar si sos cristiano?
Churches across the board have often answered that by saying suicide is the mortal sin, it's the final sin.
I had suicidal thoughts myself. I'm a pastor.
Religión puede ser un problema o una bendición dependiendo de cómo la tratemos.
I think we've done a horrible injustice to people in that regard.
Há uma suposição que eu acho profundamente equivocada, que vem da contracultura, que porque o jovem é jovem, ele deve ser feliz. Não tem nada de óbvio. Nada de óbvio.